Good day, folks. Welcome to Week 3 Finance 311, the Intersession 2021. We're covering a lot of information and there's a lot of deliverables that we're doing in a very short period of time. So I advise you, please watch your time, plan. Make sure you understand what the deadlines are, what the requirements are. What should you be working on this week? Application Project 2. I extended the deadline to January 23rd to give you a little more time to make sure you get it done and understand it. Finish modules 3, 4, and 5. That will actually help you to be able to complete Application Project 2. And then we have presentations and discussions. So those are the three things that you should be working on. Some comments on Application Project 1, but whether you're in 311 or 315, you are working on an application project. And some folks actually put audio or video in, and it really made the project come alive and demonstrated understanding and knowledge of the company and the process that we're following. So I think it worked very well. It worked for me because I could clearly assess what you learned, but I could tell that by you having to develop the audio and talk, you actually gave it more thought and it was more useful. I think you'll remember it more. So going forward, the audio video is going to be part of the standard for Application Project 2 and 3. You can do it in, we'll talk about this in a second. Don't just read your slides, make it conversational. Okay. And it's a learning experience to how we add audio and video. Multiple ways of doing it. You can do it in PowerPoint or you can do narration. You can do it in Zoom, as some people have, and any other software. I use Camtasia. There are many out there. If you use one and you find it's good, just let me know what it is so we can share that with people. Now, one of the other things that has been problematic with this is sharing can be with a file upload or sharing Google Drive or YouTube. We've had some trouble with uploading certain things into Canvas. So it's probably better to just put the link in to Google Drive, or very clearly as I do with our lectures and discussions, is they are out on YouTube. Pay attention to summary and rounding. When we say summary, that means summary. Don't just take everything that's there and put it in. You got to make decisions as to what is material. Rounding is also important. On some of these, we don't need to go out 2-3 decimal points. It has to be relevant. It also makes it easier to read and to understand. You want to make sure that your presentation is well organized and flows. There were a couple of times that they just go off in random directions. Things are imposed where I don't think someone meant to do that. So check your work when you're done. Listen to it. And then follow the instructions. The instructions are fairly detailed, so make sure you follow them. In Application Project 2, it's worth 18% or 18 points. It's due no later than 11:59 on January 23rd. Notice that's no later than, and it's been extended. Now, we can't extend the one the following week, so you're going to really have to jump in and do that. Do watch the instructional video before starting, okay? Don't just jump in trying to do it without watching the video. You're going to need to make decisions about what level of detail should be presented, okay? Because you're going to be asked to do certain things, but you've got to determine what is relevant. Avoid generalities and platitudes, okay? Be specific. Don't just tell me, interpret something by giving me the definition, okay? I know what the definition is, and you should know the definition. Telling me what it is doesn't do anything. What does it mean? What is it telling us? How can we use that information, okay? I think that's a real important thing to keep in mind. Now, when we're looking at it, commenting on net income is nowhere near as valuable as looking at specific lines. Okay, there's a cause and effect. Any number of things impact net income, but we want to understand the whys behind that. As all previously mentioned, data should be meaningfully rounded. It should always be from oldest to newest, left to right. And that's because we want to look at trends. We want to see what could happen and forecast in the future in subsequent courses. But you got to do it that way. Okay. Now, I didn't take much off for it this time. Next time, clearly, you would lose a lot of credit on that. Now, this last one is one that I want to bring up because I think it's important in almost any topic you're involved in, is sometimes you make a comment, but it's really a question, okay? And it's go deeper and understand it when you find them, okay? So go back, when you have a comment, what does it say, what does it mean, and why does it matter? Make sure you can answer them. Okay, making a general statement, doesn't work. Answer the question. So if I read a sentence and it's really a question, now it's not going to be formed. You're not going to write it as a sentence, but you're going to, when I read it, it's going to say, well, go answer it then. Okay, so that's a very important thing. So keep these all in mind with Project 2 and how things are tied together. Things don't operate within a vacuum in a firm. Everything is interrelated. So make sure when you're completing Project 2, that you start to tie some of these pieces together. When you're talking about liquidity, and that's an important one, think about what it means within the context of COVID-19. That has impacted a firm's liquidity quite a bit. So just a few summary comments here on the application project. Voice or audio discussion is required. Clarity of slides, take a good look at this time, because some of them were a little sloppy, to be honest with you. Demonstrate critical thinking, and I'm going to actually be a tougher grader this time as we go along. So that's application project 2. If you got questions, make sure you reach out and ask them. Current events, discussions, and presentations. This is the presentations count for 12 points. And you also need to participate in 4 presentations other than your own. It's worth 8 points or 2 points per session. So don't let yourself get behind that. You may attend you may attend any presentation on the attached list. As you know, I'm doing this class, organizational behavior, and 315. Some of you are in 300 and 311 at the same time. So you have to do 4 for each class. And this is really to help you see how what we're talking about in this class from a theory and a conceptual point of view, how is it used? What's happening with it today? What's the real world implication of what we're looking at? And you may attend any one or any 4 of these. This is what's scheduled so far. You can see the date, the time. You can see what the topic is, who's delivering it, and whether it's a 315, 300, 311, whatever you happen to be, you can see what it is. So if you have not scheduled yours with me, we need to do that. We got some time. We might be able to fit 1 or 2 more in this week, and then we wrap them up next Monday, Tuesday, because next week is the last week. But pick something that's of interest to you. I'd like to just highlight this one right here, is NBT Bank is recruiting, and that they're looking to hire people in graduation into their management development program this spring, summer. May also have internships. But to come to see what a bank is, how does it work? What are the opportunities for your career in using your skill? So even if you're a junior, I encourage you to come, to see what it's about. And a lot of times it's a great way to connect with alumni who are in our different fields. And there's so many different jobs out there, you may not know which one you want to do. So please come. You're very, very welcome. I hope to see many of you there. This is the link that you can join. It's going to be open, so whenever there's a scheduled event, we'll have it. It's the same Zoom link that we're going to use for all of them. So you just got to put that out there. If you have any questions, it is important to ask them. I do respond to email fairly quickly, and I want to make sure you are learning and are on the right track. So that's the wrap up for week 3.